Wow, some things don't look so good up close. Hello, my name is Marco Smallwood, and this semester I took the BuzzFeed Cluster course where we covered a lot of environmental issues and just concepts of environmental science and how it can tie in using social media. One of the creative media topics that we covered during this semester was macro photography. So I went out and took a lot of different photos of bees, leaves, and feathers. We started the semester off trying to get macro photos of bees and other insects on flowers or just in the wild. I did get some photos up inside of the hives as well, which helped, but it was a really hard concept for me to learn, especially with the amount of patience it took. I never realized how much work it took to actually get those photos of the bees, especially getting that up close since they're so fidgety and they like to move a lot. The second group that we used were leaves. And with leaves, I had a little bit more experience and it was a little bit easier for me to work with them since I was able to hold them steadier and they were a lot more stable for the photos. So with it being easier for me to actually get the photos, I was able to experiment with different lightings and trying to take photos from different perspectives. With the leaves, I really enjoyed looking at all of the small, intricate details that I'd never really noticed before, or that I didn't notice that you could get without looking through a microscope. Just like all the veinous structures, which can give off different stories, just by looking at it differently and with the amount of light that you put on it. The last unit of macro photography that we had were feathers. Feathers were by far my favorite to get photographs of because it was a lot easier to actually find the feathers and being able to hold them steady and stable in light, as well as really like the different intricacies of the feathers that I'd never really noticed before, just like the barbs on the shafts and how they look like they're made up of even smaller barbs. And I found this really interesting, and I really enjoyed being able to see it from such a new perspective and actually looking at it up close. Overall, during this BuzzFeed course, I learned a lot of valuable life skills. One thing that stuck out to me was how much I was missing from not looking at things from different perspectives and putting it under different environments, such like with the leaves, being able to see all the veinous structures. I never realized that you could do that. And with light and how it highlights all of the different textures and structures inside of the leaf, with the bees and the insects, just seeing how many details I was missing, like all of the different hairs and just like all the different textures that I was just missing. Another thing, and with the feathers, just like the barbs and how intricate they are. I never realized how they were made up of even smaller parts and it's a compound structure. With this came a lot of different skills that I had to learn to be able to be successful in this course. And some of those things were patience and the use of technology. I never realized how much time it takes to actually get a good photo and to be able to emphasize different textures and details with contrasting light or using light to highlight the different details that I'd never looked at before because I had never looked so close.